Hello everybody, welcome back to James's Classic Movies. James with you, and today we have a double feature for you. Two John Wayne pictures. They were Expendable and The Flying Leathernecks, dealing with World War II in the Pacific Theater. In 1945, John Wayne released They Were Expendable, starring John Wayne, Robert Montgomery, Donna Reed, and Ward Bond. Depicting the first appearance of the PT boat in operation during World War II. PT boat stands for Motor Patrol Boats, or as the Australians would call them, Peter Terrors, code name for them over the radio. Most of these boats had a speed of 41 knots, and that's about 47 miles an hour for all you land lovers. Had a length of 80 feet and a beam of 20 feet. That's beam is across. She carried three 12-cylinder Packard engines. They were W14 M2500s. They had about 4,500 horsepower combined, or no, I'm sorry, 4,500 horsepower each. They ran 12 hours on normal speed. Now, if you're going into combat, it'd last you probably about 6 hours before you'd have problems. She carried 4 torpedo tubes and fired 8 Mark 8 4 torpedoes. And, well, she carried 8 of the Mark 8 torpedoes. She had one 20 millimeter cannon. She had 2 twin 50 caliber machine guns, 2 depth charges, the minimum. The most PT boats maybe had 3 or 4. And she also had one 37 millimeter cannon up front. They were built by Elko and Higgins boat companies who built these ships. And of course, if you were in the Navy back then, you would hear the sailors, PT sailors, argue back and forth who had the better boat, the Elko or the Higgins, and it just a rivalry. In case you're wondering, PT 109 was built by the Elko company, and it was launched June 20th of 1942, and it was sunk the 2nd of August 1943 by the Japanese destroyer Amagiri. And take a look at this picture here, and I hope you enjoy it.
They Were Expendable is a powerful document of fact, more thrilling than any fiction, filmed with the cooperation of the United States Navy, the Army, and the Coast Guard.
Now our next feature here, The Flying Leathernecks, was filmed in 1951, starring John Wayne, Robert Ryan, and Janice Carter. Flying Leathernecks is a Marine BMH combat picture. It's about Marine aviators during World War II. Marine aviators back then started off flying the Martlet 1940, which was introduced to the Navy and Marines. The Grumman F4F Wildcat. She's about 29 feet long. She had a speed of 318 miles an hour and a range of 830 miles. She carried 6 50 caliber machine guns. Of course, unfortunately, the Wildcat was no match for the Zero. Uh, the Zero itself could climb higher, had a faster speed, and it was just more maneuverable than the Grumman Martlet or the Wildcat. Now, in 1943, the Navy saw the Hellcat. The Hellcat, well, they built about 12,275 of them. The F6F Hellcat. She had a cruise speed of around 200 miles an hour, airspeed or attack speed of 380 miles per hour. She had a range of 944 miles. She had a wing of 43 feet, and she carried 6 machine guns, could have wing bombs, and if you needed to, you could mount rockets. But this is down the road for the Hellcat. Hellcat was primarily an air-to-air attack aircraft for the Navy. She ran the same engines as the Corsair, the Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp engines. Get a little tongue-tied there. She weighed somewhere in the neighborhood of 9,000 pounds. They didn't really go for it at the beginning because the Wildcat weighed a lot less than the Hellcat, and you could get more Wildcats on aircraft carrier than you could the F6F. But they finally made it into service, like I said, in 43, and they built a little over 12,000 of them. Now, in 1942, a year before the Hellcat came out, we saw the Vought F4U Corsair, the folding wing plane. You probably remember it from movies like Pappy, Baba Black Sheep, went into service there with Boynton and his crew. This was released in December of 1942. She had an airspeed of, or attack speed of 446 miles an hour. She had a wing of 41 feet. It probably made her somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 feet long. No, 34 feet long, I'm sorry. I gotta look at my own. She weighed somewhere around 6,000 pounds, carried 6 machine guns, had 8 mounted rockets, and had wing bombs. This plane had it all. And of course, she was powered by the Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp engine. And her main feature was her folding wings, which made it ideal for the Navy, but you had to convince the Navy to get it on their ships. Of course, Navy doesn't, it's just like trying to get a kid to eat something that doesn't want to eat. I mean, the Navy, they're very particular about their aircraft. But it finally got onto ships, and we want you to go ahead and watch this clip here from the Flying Leathernecks.
Jigsaw, commencing attack.
Step by step, determined and unrelenting, the mighty force of the United States Marine Corps shakes the skies, the seas, the enemy island fortresses. It is history in the making as the Flying Leathernecks set the dramatic pace along the battle-scarred, blood-stained pathway to world freedom.
You just can't bring yourself to point your finger at a guy and say, go get killed. You got enough troubles of your own for one man. Stop trying to pack everybody else's around. Schedule admission.
Roger. I got a belly full of you. And I'm not buying the bill of goods you're selling.
I hope you'll say, let's take off these insignia and step out in the boondocks and get it settled.
But out of the turmoil of a world at war comes a romantic adventure of such infinite tenderness that it will rank with the screen's great love stories.
Are we all buttoned up?
Cat's out. Door's locked. All secure, sir.
I sure hope I haven't bored you with my plane research and everything like that. But I wanted you to know what we were dealing with here and a little history about the aircraft of which they're flying in this movie. Until next time, I'm James at James's Classic Movies, and I hope that you will add this double pack of movies to your collection if you haven't done so already. You take care of yourself. You have a good day. Get some popcorn going and watch these movies.